It all began with a letter. President Donald Trump sat behind his desk in the Oval Office, surrounded by documents and policy briefings. Amid the standard stack of typed memos, one envelope stood out, not because it was marked urgent, but because it was handwritten. The script was graceful, old-fashioned, almost poetic. Intrigued, he opened it. Dear Mr. President, my name is Alina Cross. You may not remember me, but I once ran for this country, not in politics, but on the track. I was a sprinter, a gold medalist in the 1992 Pan American Games. I've lived quietly since retiring, but there are things happening in my town, things you need to witness. Not as president, but as a human being. I'm inviting you to spend an afternoon at my home. You might see something you won't find in a report. Respectfully, Alina Cross Trump leaned back. The name struck a chord. Alina Cross, once the pride of the nation, a barrier-breaking black female athlete who had seemed to vanish after her success. He tapped the envelope thoughtfully, murmuring to himself, "Should I?" His aide looked up. Trump gave no answer. He simply folded the letter and slipped it into his jacket pocket. It wasn't a demand. It wasn't political. It was personal, and that made all the difference. He decided to go, but he had no idea how much the visit would shake him, or the truth Alina Cross had been holding for years. Air Force One landed not in a bustling city, but a small regional airport near a forgotten town called Pine Hill. No media, no speeches. Just a quiet SUV and one trailing Secret Service car. The president's team voiced concern. "There's no press here, no political benefit," his chief of staff warned. Trump simply replied, "That's the point." They passed streets lined, with shuttered factories, sagging porches, and tired faces. A veteran in a wheelchair sold flowers. Children played near rusting swing sets. A barefoot mother carried groceries. Eventually, they stopped at a modest house with chipped paint and a crooked mailbox. Alina stood on the porch, taller than he expected, with silver streaks in her braided hair. Her presence was calm but commanding. "Mr. President," she said, shaking his hand. "Alina Cross," he replied. "You haven't aged a day," she chuckled. "You, on the other hand," he laughed. Genuinely, there were no cameras, no applause. Just two people meeting on common ground. "Come in," she said. "I want to show you something." Inside, the house was simple but warm. Lace curtains, framed headlines, the smell of cinnamon. A wall displayed her athletic achievements, medals, trophies, a photo of Alina at the finish line, arms raised in victory. Behind her, a little girl clapped wildly. "Your daughter?" Trump asked. Alina nodded. "That's Maya." She must have been proud. "She was," Alina said softly. He noticed an empty space on the wall. "She had medals, too," Alina explained. "Faster than I ever was. She earned a scholarship to Columbia, broke records." What happened? Alina didn't answer. Instead, she led him outside to a small garden with a bench and a young tree. At its base, a plaque read, "In memory of Maya Cross." She ran with light in her feet and love in her heart. Trump swallowed hard. "She passed?" "Yes," Alina said. her voice unsteady. But it's how she died that matters. They sat. Alina began quietly. Maya was everything. Brilliant, kind, unstoppable. She trained every morning at 5 a.m., rain or shine. She used to say, "Mama, I'm going to run in the Olympics, but not just for gold." She sounds like a fighter. She was. But Pine Hill didn't fight for her. Alina looked out at the tree. One night, walking home from practice, the street lights were out. A car hit her. The driver fled. No witnesses. No working cameras. No repairs. They never found who did it. Trump's jaw tightened. It wasn't just an accident, Alina said. It was neglect. This town was abandoned. No funds, no programs, no safety. I begged officials. No one came. You're the first person with power who showed up. He stared at the plaque. What do you want from me? Alina stood. Not pity. Not even money. He looked puzzled. I want you to walk with me, she said. Down the path Maya ran. Feel it. See it. He hesitated. This wasn't on any schedule. But something in her voice, grief laced with strength, moved him. Led the way, he said. They walked through Pine Hill, past broken sidewalks and crumbling homes. Children waved from windows. No Secret Service hovered close. Alina insisted on that. After a while, they reached the town track. A rusted chain-link fence surrounded the overgrown weeds and torn rubber lanes. She trained here every day, even after the school stopped maintaining it. A scoreboard hung crooked. Graffiti marked the walls. Hope doesn't live here anymore. Why hasn't it been fixed? Budget cuts. People left. No money for parks or programs. Maya ran here alone. Every morning, this was her sanctuary. Trump walked the track. Alina's voice trembled. I gave everything to give her a better life. But this town swallowed her. She turned to him. You talk about America being great. But if it's not great for Pine Hill, is it great at all? The words lingered in the air. Trump sat beside her on the bleachers, staring at the battered field. She ran her last mile right here, Alina whispered. That morning she told me, Mom, I think I'm starting to fly. I believed her. He listened in silence. She invited other kids to run with her. Kids with broken homes. She gave even when she had nothing. A group of children passed by the fence. One boy waved. Miss Cross, you coming to the center today? She smiled. Later, Jordan. You run a center? I opened it after Maya died. Took what little I had and reopened the old library. Kids come to read, eat, train, or just feel safe. It's called Maya's Mile. Why haven't I heard of it? No one writes about people like us, Alina replied. We don't trend. She paused. I don't need fame. I just need the right people to care. Trump asked, What do you want me to do? I want you to remember this place. These kids. This track. When you're making decisions from your big chair in Washington. He had no reply. Because this wasn't about politics. It was about pain. They walked to a brick building with a faded mural of Maya sprinting among stars. Above the door, Maya's Mile Youth Center. Inside, books lined the walls. Teens studied. One girl practiced ballet. A boy hugged Alina. "This is Tyler," she said. "He wants to be a poet." Trump knelt. "You like words? I want to write. Stuff that makes people feel." "That's a powerful gift," Trump said sincerely. Alina showed him around. A small gym. A kitchen stocked with donated snacks. Volunteers helped where they could. "You built this after losing her?" "She didn't want to be remembered for how she died," Alina said. "She wanted others to live better because she lived." Trump studied a photo of Maya surrounded by kids. She said, "If I can't change the whole world, I'll change my mile." "You're doing more than that," he said. But Alina didn't smile. "Mr. President, we're weeks from shutting down. Donations are drying up. Volunteers are burning out." For once, Trump looked helpless. She didn't need him to speak. She needed him to feel. As they left, the setting sun cast long shadows. Alina pointed to boarded homes and shuttered schools. Maya's best friend lived there. Family left after her dad's third layoff. That house? Single mom? Her son walks 2 miles to the center. Trump took it all in. "I've read about places like this, but it's different being here." "Exactly," Alina replied. "Policy doesn't bleed. People do." They entered a school. It echoed with emptiness. Alina showed him a hallway mural painted by students. Maya's face again with the words, "Sometimes you run for gold. Sometimes you run for those still walking." "She wrote that a week before she died," Alina said. Trump stood